Shri Mataji Angana, Padare Shri Mataji Angana.
प्यास बुझाती योगी जन के दिल लुभाती
आई स्वर्ग से महामारी चैतन्य लहरी को लुटाती
आई स्वर्ग से महामारी चैतन्य लहरी को लुटाती दिल में आसमाए डोले मन मोर झूमका
आनंद दिल में ना समाये डोले मन मोर झूमका
उजले हैं भाग हमारे देवी आए मोरे आंगना
Shri Mataji Angana, Uvare Arahi Chaitanya Ki, Uvare Arahi Chaitanya Ki, Panchi Gaye Madhura Dhun, Panchi Gaye Madhura Dhun, More Nache More Angana, More Nache More Angana, Ganesh Tumi Hui Bhavana, Nache Ganesh Ji Angana, Padare Shri Mataji Angana, Padare Shri Mataji Angana, Padare Shri Mataji Angana, Padare Shri Mataji Angana.
श्री माताजी राहे आंगना
श्री माताजी राहे आंगना
श्री माताजी राहे आंगना
Shri Mataji Rahe Angana,
श्री माताजी राहे आंगना
Shri Mataji Rahe Angana,
श्री माताजी
Hello, everyone. A very, very hearty welcome to day 4 of Sahaja Yoga Meditation. So wonderful to see so many of you joining in every day. And so nice to see that those who aren't joining every day, they're still watching the recordings. And that's the beauty of these sessions, that the recordings are available for all of you to be able to watch in your time in case you miss a session, or in case you find that the timing is not suitable for you to join, or if you're at work, or for any other reason. And so nice to hear that so many of you are feeling slowly getting there, feeling the vibrations. And if not feeling the vibrations, you're at least getting relaxed. And that's the most important thing, that you feel relaxed, you feel calm, and it brings a positive change in your life. So very happy to hear that. I am Manika, and I am one of the hosts and presenters for this program. And as always, a very, very hearty welcome to all of you. All right, so let's again, as every session, we begin by settling down. So as in when all of you are joining, make sure you're seated comfortably. Make sure you flex your shoulders and be a little aware of how you're feeling completely, like not just be sure that how is your neck feeling? Just move it from side to side, see if it's relaxed. See how you're feeling. Is there any tightness in your body? Or are you thinking too much? Are you analyzing too much? All those things are pretty normal. So as I've mentioned from the beginning, from day one onwards, I've been mentioning this in every session, that the series is called Freedom from Thoughts. And I'll reiterate that one more time, that when you keep thinking, you impose on yourself how you feel. So if you're thinking too much, you are forcing yourself to feel a certain way. So when we increase the gap between these thoughts, we can give ourselves a little bit of a break, a little bit of space to catch our breaths and be in the present moment. Because all your thoughts are going to sway you from past to present, so from past to future. Your future means you're worried about doing this, doing that, planning this, planning that, making a checklist if you're that kind of a person. And some of us are just delving into past, or that happened, my childhood was like this, or my this was like this, or whatever. I did this yesterday, and you're constantly moving there, here. So what do we want with meditation? We want a break. We want a gap to assimilate ourselves and to make sure that we are relaxed. And when you give yourself that time, you respond to situations instead of reacting it. Because as I mentioned earlier, when you react, you can furball yourself into feeling so many things, anger, guilt, dissatisfaction, blah, 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 all those negative things. And we don't want that. So give yourself a bit of time and space to have a little bit of a break. Now, I'm going to give you a quick anecdote before we start, and then I'm going to begin today's session. We've already, since many of you have been joining us, and this is day 4, we've shown you the subtle system. If not, you will see it again during this session. The subtle system has 7 energy centers placed on different parts of the body. They are mainly on the spine, on our spinal cord. So starting at the base of the spinal cord till the top of our head, we have 7 energy centers placed on it. Now, these energy centers are not imaginary. Some of you might be thinking like, we have organs and we have a physical body that can easily be assessed. You can see it. But what is this subtle system? And what do you mean these energy centers? Are they imaginary? Are we thinking about them? They are not imaginary. They are there. To give you a quick example, if you're standing and somebody comes from behind and gives you a fright, what happens? Our heart palpitates, our heartbeat increases and we get a fright in the heart. Do we get a fright in the head or in the neck or in the legs? No, we don't. We get a fright in the heart. Your heart palpitates. And from there, you might feel a few butterflies in the stomach as the reaction sort of flows down. You might feel that into your stomach, but your instant reaction is in your heart. This is the energy center of strength and fearlessness. It resides in your center heart right here. So whenever you are afraid, you get a panic attack here, nowhere else. Same way, when you get into a fight or an argument, you do not get a tummy ache, do you? You get a headache. Whenever you get into an argument, you get a headache. Your muscles and nerves in your head get tight. And that's why the energy center of forgiveness is here. So, these emotions that you feel out of all these things impact you on your spine in different areas. And those are the energy centers. So it's very, very real. It's not imaginary. Whenever you get a little bit, whenever you say something, let's say, for example, you've reacted. All right. you've reacted to a situation, and 90% of the time, I'm not saying always, but 90% of the time, that reaction that you have had will give you a little bit of guilt. Or maybe I overreacted. Maybe I shouldn't have said so much. Or maybe I could have been a bit gentler. Or maybe I could have done it in a softer manner. And where does that guilt collect? It collects here. You all of a sudden feel like this tightness in your neck, and you feel like, oh, I need to see a physio or a chiro. Just my shoulders are getting so tight. But it is that tightness coming from that guilt. And you may have been collecting that kind of a baggage over years, so many years. So coming back to meditation, all these energy centers are these beautiful qualities that can easily be manifested inside you. They already exist inside you, and all we are trying to do is awaken them one more time, giving them a new lease of life. And it is very, very possible. So whether you have issues with anxiety, or if you want to become a more confident person, or, we did all these polls on the group, and most of you said you wanted to become more confident, or you wanted to become more fearless, you wanted to be more secure as a person. All these beautiful qualities are easily possible with meditation, with Sahaja Yoga. What happens is your Kundalini, this motherly energy, when she gets awakened, she swiftly starts moving inside, and she starts energizing these 7 qualities sitting on these 7 energy centers. And in doing so, all this negativity that we've collected sort of goes away. And you become more present-minded. You are not impacted by all these thoughts, and you're easily able to say, not this thought, and, increase that gap. So that's what it is. So that was today's anecdote. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you will be able to get to that point by the end of this 21-day series, and you will reflect back and see how different you've become as a person. So all this information that we share, before you think that where is this information coming from, or why can't I read about this online, you can. All this information is coming from the founder of Sahaja Yoga. Let me quickly, thank you so much. Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi, she is the founder of Sahaja Yoga, and she is the one who has given this beautiful knowledge to all of us. She's the one who has given us this technique of awakening our Kundalini, and she's the one who gives us our self-realization, this awakening, so that, we can go and look inside of us and become better people. We cannot change our surroundings. We cannot change the people around us. We cannot change all the big problems of the world. What we can change is us and our outlook towards life. And what Shri Mataji has taught us is that once this Kundalini awakens, she moves and energizes all these 7 energy centers, which manifest these beautiful qualities that we're all looking for. She gave this knowledge for free. She traveled the length and the breadth of the world. So currently Sahaja Yoga is practiced in 120 countries. And all of this information is available for you for free. So Sahaja Yoga is absolutely free. We are not going to charge you for any of these classes whatsoever. Having said so, she, being the teacher, she is the guru. She is the one who has given us all this knowledge. So it is customary. It is customary that you have respect for your teacher, for your guru, and that is the only way you can absorb all the knowledge. And for that reason, we always fold our hands in gratitude and bow our heads so we can humbly obtain and absorb all this knowledge. So on that note, again, let's bow our heads together and let's start today's session. So in the first 3 days, we have done self-realization. Self-realization is the technique through which we awaken this Kundalini. We are doing a breakout room again today. In case you have not attended day 1, day 2, or day 3, we will facilitate a breakout room for you, so you can go in that room and get your self-realization, and that way they will help you to catch up up until today. So you are up to speed. We did that yesterday and it worked quite well. So we are happy to do it again today. So I'll get to that in a minute. But what I also want to let you know is today we will be doing a foot soak. A foot soak is a very simple technique using a bucket full of water. We soak our feet in that water. So we add salt in that water first, and then we put our feet inside it. And what that does is it helps you relax. It's a very, very amazing technique. You soak your feet for 5 minutes at night before sleeping. So essentially, with our feet inside the water, we are going to have a meditation. Now, if you do not have a bucket ready, it's absolutely fine. We are going to be doing foot soak again tomorrow. So you can organize all the material, which is a bucket, water, salt, and a jug of clean water. That's all you need. They're essentially household items. But if you feel like you don't have them ready or you can't use them at this point because maybe you're at work, it's absolutely fine. We only need normal sea salt or cooking salt. You do not need Epsom salt or magnesium or any of those fancy salts. Just normal cooking salt or sea salt is absolutely fine. So this is what you will be needing for the foot soak. If you are at work and you cannot do a foot soak, it's absolutely okay. At this point, just have a meditation with us and we will give you the recording of today's session. All the recordings have a timestamp at the bottom, so please do not feel like the videos are very long. You can easily skip to the meditation part using the timestamps, so don't get overwhelmed with the time. And as soon as you get to the meditation part, you can have a foot soak at home in your own time before bed. Having a foot soak at night before sleeping is the most ideal. It will help you get a really, really nice sleep. So I hope all of that information was passed on to you easily. If you have any doubts, any questions, feel free to send a message now on the group. It'll go to one of the admins and they'll be able to respond to you. All right, now, before that, what I want to do is I want to open the breakout room. So if any of you have not had your self-realization, please put yes in your chat window now. Okay, only if you have not had your self-realization, put yes in your chat window. And if you put yes, we will put you in the breakout room. So automatically you will go to the breakout room and there we will have a practitioner who will help you out. If you have been attending, don't put anything, just leave it. You'll be here in this main session and you will have a foot soak with us. And you just have to put yes, you don't have to do anything else. Our techies will take care of everything. They will put you in the breakout room. So I will repeat, if you have not had your self-realization, meaning if you have not attended day 1, day 2, or day 3, just put yes in the chat window and we will move you to the breakout room. And if you have already attended, just stay here. Don't have to do anything. Excellent. So those who have said yes, they are being moved to the breakout room by our technical team. So we will let them do that. And the rest of you, just sit back, relax, and take a deep breath. Maybe just breathe in. Hold your breath and breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. All right, so I think we can open the breakout room now and move everybody there. And in the meantime, let me introduce you to our today's presenter in the main room, our presenter who will be taking us through the foot soak. His name is Emmanuel, and he is a financier from his professional background. Sorry about that. So he's a financier, he's married, he has 2 kids, and his kids also meditate with him. So imagine the entire family having a foot soak and clearing themselves at night and having a very, very calm life in that sense. And he's also a musician. He writes the lyrics as well as sings, which is also very, very fantastic. And that's another thing. When your mind is less cluttered, you become very, very creative as a person. So you can see his fancy setup. He is a musician. And I will pass on to Emmanuel so he can tell a little bit about himself and begin today's session.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Manika, for the introduction. Hi, everyone. And as we welcome you today for this session, it is a great pleasure to have this opportunity to share a few information, few techniques, and beautiful practices that we can do in our meditation every day. As Manika said, my name is Emmanuel. Most people call me Manu. Yeah, I've been practicing Sahaja meditation for a long time now. I think I was about 17 or 15 when I got my self-realization. I'm nearly 40 now. And so it's a great journey. It is a journey that is incredible. That's one thing I can be sure of when I'm telling you this. It's a very beautiful way to connect with yourself, to know about yourself, and to really discover all the beauty that you have within you. And yeah, so it's a pleasure to be here today. So today's session, as we have announced, is about having this Footsoak with all the different elements that we mentioned before: the water, the salt. We have a little towel and a jug full of water to rinse our feet. So the session today is about basically balancing ourselves, making sure that we feel this power within us, that Kundalini is not sort of struggling too much to rise within us. And doing the balancing is a very great way to allow the energy to pass through our chakras in a very smooth and in a very smooth way, and put us straight away into this state that we are looking for via this meditation. So I will start by saying, if you don't have a Footsoak, again, it is not an issue at all. The only thing that I would say is keep your feet nicely rested on the ground. If you want to remove your shoes, of course, if you want to remove your socks and sort of feel your feet nicely on the carpet or on the ground, that works very well. So the reason is that this Footsoak represents the water element, but within this Footsoak there is the salt, and the salt is the earth element. So this absorption power is through the salt. So if you don't have a Footsoak and you leave your feet nicely on the ground, then you're fine, and it will work. And tomorrow you can have your bucket ready to have the Footsoak. So actually no trouble here. And again, what makes things work when we meditate, it's not necessarily all the physical things that we gather around us. It's mostly the desire, your freedom to choose to be here today and to know more about yourself, and hopefully to connect with what we call the spirit within us, in our heart. So you remember when we did the self-realization, we put our hand on our heart, the first step, and we asked, am I the spirit? And so the journey started. So again, we always come back to that because this is the main driver, the main fuel of our ascent, of our inner ascent, to have the desire to be the spirit. So I'll invite you to take 2 seconds and just just remind yourself, why am I here for? Why am I sitting down here to meditate? What is the goal? And the goal, I may suggest to you that it's simply to be happy. Because if you're happy, then your life is truly a life worth living. And being happy is intrinsically related, connected to the spirit. And being happy is not just about an excitement, it's also about a pure state of feeling complete and feeling that wherever you may be, wherever you may go, whoever you might be meeting tomorrow, it will not change this happiness within you. So now that we took this instant to remind ourselves why we're here for, let's start with our Footsoak. So I will invite you to bring the bucket in front of you. We'll make sure that our pants and clothes are not touching the water, and we can put our feet inside the water. So one is the desire, and through this desire, your energy, your Kundalini, is acting. So she is the one who does what is needed within for you to be completely connected, for each expression of your desire to be fulfilled. We are, if we want, we can remove our glasses. If we have glasses, it will help for our sixth center to nicely clear out during the Footsoak or during the balancing. And while we are in the water, the first movement we are going to do is to raise our Kundalini and do our bandhan, our protections around us. So remember, the left hand is resting like a plate in front of your body, and then the right hand is going to turn around it, so away from the body, and you can raise all the way up your left hand, and your right hand will turn around it and do one knot on top of your head. You can look at it if you want while you're doing it. So we'll do that movement one more time. The second time, the right hand is turning away from the body towards the outside. And then we are going to do 2 knots. 1 and 2. And one last time, the third time, we position the left hand down our body torso, and then we are going with our right hand, turn around again, like if we were giving away something, energy, and we are going to do 3 knots on top of our head. And that's the first step of that movement. And then we are going to do the bandhan, the protections within us. So the right hand will start on the left hand side of our body. You can simply rest it there. And then you are going to do one bow around you and you come back in the same direction. That's one. The second one, it's two. That's three. See, it's there and back. That's four. There and back. 5, 6, and 7. So already, by doing this movement, you can already feel that some balance may occur. So during the day, you can isolate yourself in a room somewhere and then raise your Kundalini. It takes 20 seconds and it has the ability, the power to really put you back into the center. On the central channel, where our Kundalini passes through the chakras and rise all the way up until the last chakra on top of our head. So this is where we want to be, with our Kundalini, not on the left, not on the right, in the center, that represents the present, here and now. So let's close our eyes. Let's slowly feel ourself, the self within us. Let's rise both our hands at the level of our heart. And this is a simple experience, just to see if you can feel something different, something that could be an information on your state, on your current state of balance within. So both your hands at the level of your heart, and here you can ask your mother energy within yourself. Mother energy, please tell me, what is my current state? You can ask a few times and then you just observe what's happening in your hands. You can feel maybe a finger, some tingly, a little bit of itchiness, or a little bit of warmth coming out of your hands. Or you can feel some cool in one hand or the other, or both the hands. Or you can feel extremely cold, almost frozen. Just observe. And then I'll ask you to simply check whether one hand or the other is heavier. Just check if one hand, by simply moving both your hands up and down slowly, just check if you can feel one hand heavier than the other. If you feel the left hand a little bit heavy, it means your current state of emotions has a surplus of emotions, which is too much or more than what it should be. If you feel your right hand is heavier, there's a little bit of heat, then you know that there is a little bit too much or a surplus of activity. It can be brain activity, it can be physical activity, and that's a surplus that is not necessary for you at this present moment to be in the center, in your center channel with your Kundalini. So here we are already witnessing our current state. And in that way, this is how you start becoming your own master. You start feeling for yourself what is happening, what is going on. So, we are not going to dwell too much in what's going on. We are all going to do both the techniques that we need to balance our channels. So let's start with the left channel, which is the channel connected to the moon within us, the water, the coolness. So we can keep our left hand open, and this hand will receive the vibrations, the energy, and the right hand, we can put it towards the earth or on the earth if we are sitting on the ground, if we are not in the Footsoak. Just put your hand towards the earth. It doesn't have to be in a particular position. Just do it in a way that is comfortable and that doesn't, fix you on your right hand, but rather on what's happening within you. Now you can address your energy one more time. Mother Kundalini, please purify my left channel. Mother Kundalini, please remove the surplus of emotions unnecessary for my ascent. You can ask a few times and then you just observe. And this notion of observing is a very subtle one. I would simply ask you to ask yourself this question: what's happening on top of my head? Every time I say observe, ask yourself this question: what's happening on top of my head? And automatically, you'll be in that witness state of what's happening on top of your head. And while you are doing that, your energy will simply do all the work to cleanse your left channel, nourish it, purify it. Just observe. And as you observe, you may feel a lot of things. Something pulling into the water, some heaviness that was within yourself, or something pulling you from the top of the head. It is certainly your Kundalini, rising stronger. Or you may feel on your hands some coolness or some heat coming out towards the earth. Whatever it is that you feel, even if it's nothing, just keep observing what's happening on top of my head. Now, let's put back our right hand on our knee, and that way we show our Kundalini that we have felt her work within us, and gratefully we can say thank you, Mother Kundalini, for purifying my left channel, for making me emotionally balanced. So now we are going to balance our right channel. So here, our right hand will stay open on our knee, facing the sky. And our left hand, what you are going to do is simply fold your arm straight and keep your hand open. And simply your left hand will face backwards towards the sky, pointing towards the sky. Why is that? It's simply because the right channel is connected to the air element, the ether, and all the heat that is in our right channel, the surplus of thoughts, surplus of actions, all that heat that is generated will simply, like a fireplace and a chimney, the smoke coming out through the air and being washed away. And to accompany this work, we can express our desire one more time to our Kundalini, Mother Energy, please, from the bottom of my heart, I'm asking you to please remove all the surplus of heat in my right channel. Mother Energy, please purify my right channel. Mother Energy, reveal all the sweetness that is within me and that I could not see. All those affirmations are not simply to suggest your brain or your mind that you are something that you are not. It is to say the truth. Those qualities already exist within you. They were simply covered. And now we are rediscovering them, thanks to our Kundalini, who has got that power. Again, to accompany this work, we observe what's happening on top of my head. And you can see it's a little bit easier this time to stay in that witness state. And before we put back our left hand, we can simply say 3 times, Mother Energy, verily, you do everything, I do nothing. Mother Energy, verily, you do everything, I do nothing. Even if you feel that there's a little bit of reaction inside while saying this, it's okay. It's just the ego reacting. And it's okay. You can just observe, be the witness of the ego reacting. But you are saying the truth, because your energy does it all within yourself. So one last time, Mother Energy, verily, you do everything, I do nothing. And slowly, you can put back your hand on your knee. And you keep observing what's happening on top of my head. And you can say, thank you. Thank you, Mother Energy, for clearing my right channel, for making my actions sweet and balanced. And you can see now how this state of being in the middle just settles within yourself effortlessly. It's just there. And if it's not, it is okay. Because you are here right now expressing a desire for you to become more. And that is a great step in your own journey. Right. So as we have taken this time, 10 to 15 minutes to do our Footsoak, let's say that this is the right time to advance into this technique. You don't have to stay too long because simply there is something happening. Things are going into this water. It is some things that you can't see. It's about your energy. You can't see your emotions, but they do exist. The same way, all those, let's say, negative vibrations or heaviness, all this heat has gone to the water. So do not look at the water too much. You don't need to. And then you just simply push a little bit on your legs down the drain. The remaining, again, expressing a desire here. And that is it. The Footsoak is complete. You can take your little jug and simply rinse your feet and put your feet back on your towel nicely. And done. Here is your Footsoak done. And as you are finishing, you will take the bucket to the toilet and put the water into the toilet. You don't need to fix it too much and flush it, and finish with a heavy part of within us that is gone. So that's that was the Footsoak. I will simply now invite our tech team to take us to this beautiful talk of Shri Mataji, explaining a little bit more about the powers of water, the powers in general when we start meditating. So I'll let you enjoy.
Now, what are the powers of a person who is born again? First of all, such a person is a tranquil, peaceful person. He becomes automatically righteous. Automatically. I don't have to tell you, don't do this and don't do that. That's finished now with Moses. No more of that. As soon as you become the spirit, we just give up all those things that are destructive for us. Automatically. No pressures are needed. No goading is needed. Nothing of the kind. Automatically, because the spirit is the light, you get your enlightenment. Supposing I'm holding a snake in my hand and it's not light. Somebody tells me it's a snake. I'll say, no, it's a rope. I'm holding on to a rope. But when there is a light, I just drop it. In a simple way. Nobody has to tell me, I see the light, and it drops out. In the same way, you are an enlightened person. You can make out what is truth and what is untruth. For example, you see someone, even from Indian jails, some people who have just come out of jails, they don't know what to do with themselves. So they walk out with saffron clothes to Germany, maybe to Australia also, and they become great Babajis here. Now these great Babajis sit on some of the important places in the city, and everybody is surrounding them, giving them money, giving them their lives, you see, all big talk of love going on and everything. Is he a realized soul or not? How will you find out? You don't know whether he is a realized soul or not. Because you are not at an absolute point. You are still in a relative understanding. Because this person is wearing this kind of a dress, is sitting very quietly there, so he must be a Babaji. You cannot recognize a person, whether a person is true or not. You can't recognize me either, whether I am telling you the truth or not. Unless and until you become that absolute being, You cannot make it out. Then what happens? That when the Kundalini rises and pierces through your fontanelle bone area, then you also start feeling on your fingertips. These fingertips are nothing but the sympathetic nervous system centers, which are indicative of the truth. If the person has got cool wind or cool breeze coming from that person, then he is a real one. If he doesn't have, then he is not. There are many persons who claim to be great, but they are not. Ultimately, we find out and we are shocked the way they are. We don't know how is it our brain has failed, how is it our brilliance did not show clearly what was wrong with this gentleman, because we are not that. We have to accept humbly that we are still at a human awareness and we have to be at a spiritual awareness. That's the dimension we have to get, otherwise we cannot judge things properly. In this country now we have certain problems. In this whole world we have problems. Problems of atom bomb, every day you are hearing about this problem and that problem, all created by human beings. Imagine, intelligent, such good people have created problems for themselves, killing each other, preparing bombs and things like that, protecting each other. I mean, no animal does that. Only human beings are trying to protect themselves from each other. They are all the time worried who is going to attack them, not sure of themselves. The reason is they haven't reached that state of absoluteness. The time has come now. The time has come for you either to take to constructive working out of the problem or the destructive. By discussions, by arguments, by anything, you are not going to achieve anything unless and until there's a complete transformation in the human mind. And transformation is only possible when you become the spirit, because spirit is the universal being within you. And you become collectively conscious, means you start universally feeling. You just start feeling another person on your fingertips. And if you know how to correct it, you have corrected that person. This is only the play of love of God. It's so simple. Even children can do it. Many children, when they put their fingers in their mouth or their thumbs in their mouth, according to Mr. Freud, it's something nonsense. But according to us, they are suggesting what centers you are catching. To understand your own children, you have to be a realized soul. Because the understanding is still not matured. Unless and until you become a realized soul, you are not a matured personality to judge anything. At that level, whatever you judge will have another point of view. You can take 10 small children who are realized souls. We have many like that. And tie up their eyes. Now ask them, what's the wrong with this particular person? They will all raise one finger, meaning this or this finger. If said this finger means that person feels guilty for nothing at all. This is the Vishuddhi on the left-hand side. Or the right means he talks too much and he has problems here. This knowledge becomes your own. This is one of the powers I have described to you, that you feel the collective consciousness within yourself. Whatever you achieve in your evolution is a living process. It is not a dead process. It's a living process by which your central nervous system can feel what is around you, what is within you. What you call the parasympathetic nervous system gets activated. And you can understand the parasympathetic, while if there are any doctors, they'll tell you that they don't know much about parasympathetic. Now, all these things happen to you, and even if you are a child, you can manage the show. The second power you get is that you can raise the Kundalini of another person. Like one enlightened light can enlighten another person. But we cannot deal with people who are nasty, who are superficial, who are stupid, not meant for them. It is meant for people who are seekers, who are intense. They are the chosen ones, and they are called as seekers nowadays. They might be drug addicts, or they might be anything. Doesn't matter. They have been truly seeking, they have taken something wrong as right, or they might have done some mistakes. Doesn't matter. Everything is forgiven. They will get what they want because they have been intensely seeking, truly wanting to be the Spirit. This is the pure desire of the person that works out. Not a person who is just wanting it for the sake of some sort of a selfish or some sort of a power-oriented ideas. Now the third power one he gets is this, that a person becomes absolutely dynamic. He works very hard, he never feels tired. He can do things which he has never done before. I know of somebody who has never done anything artistic. Suddenly he started painting. I know another one who has never known what is poetry because he is a chartered accountant. He has been dealing with money all the time. Suddenly he started writing poetry, that too in Urdu language, which is such a difficulty. Such dynamism one develops. Apart from that, you develop a special feeling of oneness with others who are realized souls.
Let's keep the silence for a couple of minutes. Just observe. You can now acknowledge that you are a realized soul. You have received the awakening of your inner power, your Kundalini. Simply acknowledge that. And as we move a little bit deeper into meditation, we are going to listen to a little bit of music to take us a little bit deeper. Again, observe during the play of this music. Observe from the top of your head. And let your Kundalini do the rest. Very slowly, we will gently open our eyes and join both our hands on the central channel and simply say thank you to our energy. Mother Energy, thank you. And please keep me in that complete feeling of happiness, that complete state of happiness. So we can now, to finish this session, we can raise our energy Kundalini and do our protections one more time, as we did before in the beginning. Left hand is going up, right hand is rotating around it all the way up to the top of the head. We can look at it and do one knot, and then we are going to do a second time the same movement. We can do 2 knots. Third time, 3 knots. The protections, starting from the left with the right hand, coming on top of the head and coming back, is 1. And we do 7 of the same. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. So 1 protection for each chakra. Thank you, everyone. And I will now give Manika the mic back.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session. I did a Footsoak as well, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Thank you. It was lovely.
Yes, thank you so much. And I hope you all enjoyed the Footsoak session as well. If you didn't do it now, you can, we'll share the link of this recording, and you can just go back home before you sleep. Like I said, we'll put timestamps at the end of each video. So as soon as it's uploaded on YouTube, you should be able to see there's timestamps on. So you should be able to navigate where the Footsoak is, and then just have a nice meditation with the Footsoak. As you saw, it doesn't take very long. You can have a Footsoak and then easily just comfortably go to bed. You'll have the best sleep, and hopefully slowly, you won't have troubling dreams either. So that's pretty much it for tonight. Quickly letting you know that all the information is available on the free meditation website. You can go to www.freemeditation.com.au/AUG 2023. Once you go on that website, you should be able to see all the recordings, and you should be able to also find all the resources and the handouts that we keep sharing every day. So even if you're watching from YouTube, you should be able to access the website and get all the resources in that case. And we'll also keep sharing them on the WhatsApp group. We will now open the chat. If you feel like sharing how you felt with today's meditation, please feel free. We'll make the chat available now. And as always, the bandhan is something, the protection is something that you should do every day. It's nice to be able to do that before you leave your home. And it is nice to be able to do that before and after your meditation. So it's just a very gentle, when the right hand moves around the left hand and goes up, it's a very nice way of telling your subtle energy that you want it to rise and you want it to be active at this time. So before you leave the house, if you do that, you sort of stay protected from everything, from your environment and from the people in general, without putting much attention. And nice to be able to do that when you're beginning and ending your meditation as well. You can also put yourself into a bandhan like that, like raise your energy and put yourself into a bandhan with the 7 rainbows that we built before going to bed. That way, for those who said they do get a lot of dreams and they get a bit of troubled sleep, your Footsoak and your bandhan should really help you to get a nice, comfortable sleep. So on that note, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will see you again tomorrow. And one more thing, before I forget to mention, on this Saturday, we will be doing a workshop, meaning on the same session, when you join us, we will have about 100 yogis joining in as well. And we will create small breakout rooms so that you can have sort of a one-on-one session. So in one breakout room, we could have one yogi and say 2-3 people. And you will have a meditation which is customized to your needs, whatever you want. We can sort of try to give you a customized meditation. And we will also do self-realization in one of the breakout rooms. So if you have anybody who's new, you can still join in. If you want to bring friends and family, even they can have the self-realization. And the workshop should be very, very exciting because you can ask questions directly instead of putting it on chat. You should be able to get your answers directly from somebody, and also solutions to something that you're going through in meditation. All right. So please make sure you keep yourselves available. Same time, 8:45 p.m. Sydney time, we will have a workshop on Saturday. And the workshop will probably go on for about 1.5 hours. So make sure you keep that time slot available. And if you're joining from YouTube, please join in through Zoom on that day, not on YouTube, because we cannot create breakout rooms on YouTube, unfortunately. So on that note, thank you so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed the Footsoak, and we will do another Footsoak tomorrow. So let's finish up by just raising our energy slowly on top of our head, bringing it right there in the middle. Just assert a little bit of pressure and relax. You can move your scalp clockwise 7 times. Just say, Mother Kundalini, please deepen my self-realization, and please remove all the negativity from within me. Keep me in the present and keep me balanced, and protect me as my day goes by. You can fold your hands, bow your head, and in Sanskrit we say Jai Shri Mataji, which is obeisance to our mother energy. You don't just bow your head and finish for today. We leave you with some nice music so you can enjoy and finish your meditation. Thank you so much for joining us today.
न तातो न माता न बन्धुर्न ताता न पुत्रो न पुत्री न भृत्यो न भर्ता न जाया न वेद्या न वृत्तिर्ममैव कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि कतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि भवद्भावपारे महादुःखभीरु पपार्था प्रकामे प्रलोभे प्रमथा कसंसारपाश प्रबधा सदाहम् गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि ध्यानं न च ध्यानयोगम् न जानामि तन्त्रं न च स्तोत्रमन्त्रम् न जानामि पूजं न च न्यासयोगम् गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि न जानामि पुण्यं न जानामि तीर्थम् न जानामि मुक्तिं लयं वा कदाचित् न जानामि भक्तिं वृतं वापि माता गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि गतिस्त्वं त्वमेका भवानि त्वमेका भवानि त्वमेका भवानि